is not tied to this, and we are just starting.
Hey, well, you know, sword.
And so everyone, of course, grabs their wood sword.
And of course, we've got the early route choice. Do you go to 3? Do you go to 1? Do you check the shop on the way? Personally, I think if you don't check the shop, that's just a mistake. Always important to know if you have an early red can.
So we got 3 runners going to 3, 1 runner going to 1. Early key in 3, so that'll give them a little bit more flexibility as they're navigating.
Looks like 1 also has that early key. Pretty open so far.
You have to use that key right away in 1, though.
Looks like Fury's actually going to be checking the B shop and the shop underneath the Armos. Interesting slight route divergence, more shop info, but it could backfire.
Maybe not. That's the candle shop. So
Didn't backfire
shop
today.
Now, we'll still to be seen if we'll need that candle or not. It depends on where the red candle is. Fred took a death in 3. Cantaloupe, I think, got key locked in 1. So looks like they're making their way to 3 as well.
That's one of the downsides of starting with level 1. Due to its linear nature in vanilla shapes, it really likes to get key locked early. Looks like we have a pretty free Triforce on RC Drone's side. Just kind of hanging out. I don't think we've seen any items yet, though.
I've not seen any either. So let's see how that plays out. 3's a little more open, but I don't think anybody's got bombs yet. So that hurts a little. We'll see if they find some bombs.
Looks like Fury's also gone to 1. And was that the bait block message for the seed? Or is that just the old man?
That was the old man.
Okay.
I saw it on I saw it on Cantaloupe screen. It was the old man. Fury is using the Trogdor sprites, so that swaps in some enemy sprites for the standard NPCs that you'll see.
And we see a similar story on Fury's side, no keys and no bombs, so... Although, Fury might be able to get some bombs here.
That was the ladder in 3.
Oh, that's a big item.
So, I believe Cantaloupe's the first one to find an item. Ladder in 3, which will definitely help. It's not necessarily required, but it is required the most of the time. There's our other item in 3, it's scrap metal. I think RC now is making the trip up to 1. Gonna find... Well, RC is going to go in with 1 key, so that will give them a little bit more of an opportunity to explore. Meanwhile, Fury checking the Armos spots. Looks like the Armos item is shuffled, and it will be at the Armos with the medium secret.
And it looks like HP Shuffle is giving Fred Coughlin a bit of work. Those super keys, did they get a +2?
They might have. Ooh. These are not... That's not a friendly screen for Fury. Looks like he's trying to get a bomb. No luck, though. There's some bombs for Cantaloupe. Yeah, Fury is trying for bombs. It's kind of one of those bad feelings in the seed when you need those bombs and nothing will drop them.
Yeah, and I believe we saw bombs for an expensive 33-ish rupees in the shops.
We're going to see what the Armos item is, as Fury's about to uncover that. And that looks like the recorder.
It was indeed the recorder. That'll be great for fast travel if you can get one of these 2 dungeons out of the way, preferably 2. and that saves a lot of time going back and forth.
So we found a few nice items so far. The ladder and the recorder. Fury's still looking for bombs. You like to have bombs before going to 2 because there tend to be a lot of bombable walls.
Personally, I'm not that fond of the idea of just going to 2 early on, simply because both items could potentially be behind combat rooms, but likewise, they could both be on the floor. Does look like we have an immediately bomb-blocked 2, though.
Luckily for Fury, he's got some bombs now.
Meanwhile, Cantaloupe, he's made his way into level 1. We'll see what they're gonna do next.
Yeah. Some extra keys and bombs can make a little bit more progress in 1. We haven't seen any of the items in 1 yet, though.
Looks like we got Wizrobes filling level 2. Only Red Wizrobes so far, but... Oh, those red Wizrobes have extra HP. A single bomb is not enough to take them out.
We had Dark Falls actually correcting me there. We have seen a heart so far in level 1.
Looks like it's 6 HP Red Wizrobes.
And a lot of enemies rolling high in this one. Well, at least a couple that we've seen so far.
Well, we better hope that some of the more dangerous enemies roll low. Personally, I'm fine if Red Wizrobes roll +2 as long as their blue counterparts get a -2.
Looks like Cantaloupe is in a potential stair room. Gotta clear out the enemies first.
It is indeed a stair room. What do we have? We have a heart container. Looks like 2 hearts in 1 and not much else so far. RC drone picking up that floor heart container.
And that's actually all 3 items, so 3 hearts in level 1. Good for getting your HP up for the white sword item, bad for your progression.
Although I'll bet Fury wishes he had 3 extra heart containers in this too.
Oh yeah, that is a bad room, but that's an enemy key.
That's rather convenient. Bet he wishes he had that for level 1.
Yep, no more key problems for Fury in this run, and potentially for our other runners if they choose to pick that up, or if they find it. Fury gonna find the compass for level 2. There's a Triforce right above him.
I don't believe we've seen the second item unless it's a... No, it wouldn't be a heart container. He hasn't picked up any, so... Probably in the next room.
If he survives, he's down to half a heart.
They're only red Grias, but... they like to be unpredictable.
RC now knows where the Armos item is.
Are we seeing level 6 play from RC Drone? Looks like it.
Yep, it looks like that's where they're going. Won't be an item in that room in level 2, so Fury will probably pick up the Triforce and head back to the start.
Looks like it might have been in a room that, Did he skip a few rooms at the start? I think he did.
Yes, he did.
Oh, but level 6 filled with blue dark nuts. That's not fun, and RC Drone just says, okay, bye.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Looks like he's gonna go for a world wrap.
And
And our second item is a heart container.
that'll help a little bit. So Fury, let's see where they go. Most likely going to check out the white sword item while they're up here.
Cantaloupe's finished clearing 1, so he's got 2 of the Triforce pieces now. Fred's still digging for a few more items. And we just have a Coast Heart container from RC Drone. And Lionel's, he's got to be careful. He might get a... Oh, but that backwards clip, beautifully done.
We got Fury going towards... Yep, he's gonna go check out the white sword item. Might not have enough hearts. Could be as much as 6.
I always find it interesting checking the white sword item before doing level 5, especially when you can't guarantee it.
Well, it's just a heart container, and you need at least 5. So that's good. Or we need no more than 5, I should say. Not at least 5.
Well, we'll see Fury now heading to 5. Bit of a slower trek, because you gotta go up, 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 up the mountain. But it could pay off. None of our runners have a candle yet, and I believe it was only Cantaloupe who found the candle shop.
I believe you are correct on that.
Although with 75 rupees, I'm surprised that he hasn't put more effort into getting some of those small and medium secrets.
Well, Fury is in level 5. Immediate staircase, bus transport.
RC Drone and Cantaloupe decided that level 2 is a good place to look. And if they want the magic key, then they'd be right. Meanwhile, Fred's got plenty of rupees, and looks like he's gonna be heading down to level 6. He doesn't have the ladder though, so if he happens to leave it like RC Drone, he won't be able to do the world wrap.
There's a Triforce in 5. With a recorder at this point, Fury could elect to just leave and come back later. See what they choose to do.
Personally, I just dig it while it's fresh in my mind. Doesn't seem like there's any serious blocks. We've got the any key, we've got a pretty healthy supply of bombs, unless there's some serious combat. Which could happen.
That's a not nice looking room, but it was a dark room, so we're going to find an item in there anyway.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that looked like the bait block in Fred's side in level 6.
I'm not 100% sure.
Looks like either you clear that room filled with dark nuts and fireballs, or you find some bait.
Ooh, there's a bunch of red dark nuts in 5.
Well, red ones could have more HP than the blue ones if they roll high and the blue ones roll low.
Nope,
Looks like
those
it's
dark nuts went... Yep. So don't have to worry about high rolling dark nuts today. Or at least blue ones. Or not red ones.
And even if the red ones do roll high, they move a lot slower, so a lot easier. Looks like Fred's, he's going to explore the shop. He knows where the candle is by process of elimination. But he's got to be careful not to get bopped by those rocks.
Saw an item in 5, just a heart container, and I think this is the other item.
Oh,
There's
but
the
it's
bow.
the bow! At this point, we're technically just missing the silver arrows and the raft. Although the raft could be in, the silver arrows could be in 9. We do have super ropes, it looks.
Yeah, you never like to see those ropes roll high. You know, just let they charge at you, you take a hit, thinking them go down in 1 hit, and yeah, not pleasant. Fury with both items is out of 5.
RC Drone picking up that any key in 2. Looks like he's close to clearing it out.
And
Looks
Fury... Looks like Fury's going to head back to 1. I believe they got key locked pretty early. No, have they been in 1?
Fred's doing a fancy HUD clip, getting into 8. Very effective.
Wow.
Or not going to 8. Looks like Fred's checking the coast item. And then maybe he'll go to 2 first, and then head down to 8.
Looks like Pole's voice will be on the overworld today. Might have seen that before, but there was just a bunch of them. And right now we've got runners tracking through other runners' dungeons. Not really much new ground being explored right now. So, I mean, what we've got still for dungeons we haven't seen much out of. We still have level 6. I think Fred started exploring, but we didn't really see anything out of it.
Yeah, we just
And then
saw...
there's... Yeah. Then we've got 7, which is a big dungeon, but you have the recorder, or at least some of the runners do.
Okay.
And then there's also, of course, 8.
And of course, we can't access Dungeon 4, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. I know that tune of the recorder, and I can't place it.
I heard it, but I couldn't... Like, I didn't hear it well enough the first time.
I think that's Poke Center theme from Red and Blue.
That does seem familiar. That does sound right. I mean, looking at where these runners are, one of my initial thoughts would be to, if you have that candle, to go into 8, especially since it was at that northern shop.
I definitely also do that same. That early candle play, beelining it to 8. Although it could be risk. 8 does have a tendency, although it's got 3 items, it's also fairly large and has a tendency to have a lot of boss.
That's true, but I mean, also considering other options would be going to 7, which is even bigger, or 6, which could be a good play, but at the same time, it's a long walk to get to 6.
True. At the very least, I'd do 1, 2, and 3 before checking 8.
Yeah, that is definitely fair. You don't want to leave 1, 2, and 3 sitting too long, because if a critical item's in one of those and you get it late, you're probably behind your opponents.
Depending on how you route the overworld, you might want to do 8 before 2 and then go from 2 to 5. Just do that all in a line on the east side, but with the flute, it makes routing a lot easier. Looks like Fury's found the last heart container in 1, and this is actually an extraordinarily healthy seed. Fury already having 10 hearts.
Might see some runners go for that magic sword later. These runners of this quality definitely don't need it, but if you've got the hearts to attempt it, why not? If you happen to have enough, that's going to make some of this seed a lot easier.
Especially because we haven't found a white sword yet, so you're quadrupling your damage, and we haven't finished level 6 yet, so... Fury gonna go finishing up 1, picking up that Triforce. And meanwhile, Cantaloupe hunting through 5. Got all the runners hunting through dungeons. That everyone else...
Yeah, looking at our Triforce counts right now, we've got RC Drone leading with 4 pieces. Fury and Cantaloupe each have 3, and Fred is at 2. But we still have a lot of seed to play, so...
Although, it looks like RC Drone bailed on the second item in 5, which was the bow. So that could really bite him in the back.
Oh, yeah, that would. The only thing we can for sure say about bow, at least in their side, is that it can't be in level 9.
And speaking of bows, Cantaloupe is picking up his bow. Fred picking up that magic key. Looks like all the runners have the magic key now.
No more key issues in this seed. Is Fury going to 7? No, I gotta go pick up the big secret first.
Looks like we will have a 7 play, though, if I had to guess. No, he's heading to the right. He just wanted the money.
Oh, he's gonna go buy the candle. Didn't have enough money.
Fair enough.
Wait, no, he's got the candle.
Yeah, he did. Maybe he's trying to buy arrows for his bow.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yep.
Dark Falls also just could have bought baits, but just spent his money on arrows.
And are we gonna see the 7 play now? No.
Well, Fury hasn't finished off 3 yet.
Fair enough.
We got RC going into 8.
Fred's actually bypassed 8 altogether and gone to 5. No, that is 8, sorry.
So we're seeing some new ground here. 2 runners and 8s, and we've got at least 1 Goma in a potential staircase room.
Imagine if it was guarding the silver arrows.
That is always mean when that happens. Got a staircase here. This is our transport.
Will it take us to where the Goma is, however? Not even close. Well, it took us to where a Goma is.
Gomas,
Not
Gomas are dominating level 8s. You need your spider killer this morning.
Patra too. Oh boy.
Just make it an overall bug killer.
Fred Coughlin hasn't been to 5, doesn't have that bow yet, let alone the arrows, so... We will probably... Well, not guaranteed, but we could very likely see a double dip from several of our... Meanwhile, Fury having a situation of, oh shoot. And it looks like those blue Gurias got a +2 also. Lots of beefy enemies this season.
It's healthy for everybody. Link's healthy, the enemies are healthy, everyone's healthy today.
RC Drone and Fred actually having a high 5. As Fury finds the scrap metal and is picking it up! The outrage!
Doesn't hurt to grab it. I mean, you can at least stun enemies and potentially take out some enemies that rolled low.
Yeah, with enemy shuffle, or HP shuffle, it definitely has a lot... It's got different value, but oh!
Oh, that's mean! Ladder blocked Triforce in 8.
There might be a workaround, you can bomb from the sides, but if not, then... Fred's gonna have to take another dip into level 3.
Which he already got the Triforce out of. That could be bad. We'll see if it can work around. I don't think you can.
Well, there is still quite a few many rooms we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen... Oh, no, it looks like we saw the red candle in 8. My bad.
So you have to buy that blue candle. There's no getting around that. But because the red candle in 8, you gotta buy it. Our tracker does confirm that was the floor item, so we're still looking for 2 stair items.
And with the more of 8 that we explore, the more likely that one of those is going to be under that Goma block.
So RC is going to grab the Triforce. See if they go back in.
I'm curious to know why Fred is so insistent on killing this Patra. It's only in a single block room, which has a very low chance of actually dropping an item.
No, RC is not going back in, leaving 8.
Perhaps he's just determined to come back once he gets the bow and arrows.
That could be. If you've seen us that many Gomas, yeah, you could definitely want to come back later.
Looks like that Patra was actually guarding a key.
RC grabbing the big secret, and looks like RC is gonna go into 7 if he can get by these enemies.
Level 7, also known as 33 rooms of pure torture. But it could have a lot of good things. We're still missing the raft and the silver arrow.
Ooh, Fred gets hit by that Patra. And there's a laggy room with all those blue gorillas.
Personally, if you ask me, I think I prefer lag when it comes to dodging enemies like that. More time to react.
That is very true. Look at Cantaloupe. We've kind of been overlooking them, but they're up to 12 hearts.
That is a 60% chance at the magic sword.
They might be going for that right now.
Looks like it. If he gets it, then that is a significant advantage to him.
Alright, we're going to find out. 60% chance. Can Cantaloupe pick up the magic sword? Yes!
We can, and that's going to help significantly with those blue dark nuts in 6. If he goes there right away. Looks like he will. Also, Fred left 8, didn't find anything but the red candle.
It's very likely that 8 is Goma blocked at this point.
Yeah,
or
it
at
looks
least
like, sorry?
It could also be ladder blocked.
Yeah, I think it was both either ladder blocked or just Goma was guarding a shutter door. Although I think if it was ladder blocked, RC drone would have explored a little bit more.
Yeah, but with all those Gomas, it might have just been a better move to just get out of there.
Could be. We'll have to see what the seed says.
I got a staircase in 7 and 6.
And on 6.
Both transport.
We do have some dig doggers in 6 though. Looks like Fury's taken the dip into 8, but Fury's got the arrows and the bow, so Fury will actually be able to kill these Gomas.
Well, here's one. Is this a push block room? We're about to find out.
It is not! Although Fury also has the ladder, so there should be no reason, unless it's combat related, that Fury has to leave.
Look at this right now. We've got every runner in a different level. We've got Fred in 5, Cantaloupe in 6, RC in 7, Fury in 8. There's an item on the floor in a staircase.
Well, we'll take that heart container, and we've already seen the transport, so looks like we're getting a 2-for-1 special today.
Unless this is the other side of transport. I don't know if we saw that.
It is!
Staircase in 6 on Cantaloupe screen. That's transport. There's the Triforce in 7. And RC's going to grab it.
That's a hard choice. You've already seen the floor item. Now, I personally, I'd definitely bail on 6 if I'd seen the staircase item and I was missing the floor item. But
ooh, this is item 6. There's the white sword, which
he's already picked up the magic sword.
That's a little unfortunate. Fury saw the red candle on the ground, chose not to grab it.
Personally, I'm a bit miffed at the lack of respect for the red candle. But to each their own. Fury did pick up the blue boomerang after all.
So right now we're still on the hunt for the raft and the silver arrows. Gonna be interesting if we see the raft before the silvers. Actually, if we see the raft before the silvers, because that puts the possibility of silvers in 9.
And the possibility of the raft in 7 is still alive. RC Drone only saw one item.
We still got 2 and 8 as well.
And I believe we've only seen one item in 6. Well, Fred's gonna pick up that bow. I wonder if he'll pick up the arrows and then make a beeline back for 8.
We got Cantaloupe going into the tail. Fury sees the...
Oh,
sees
looks
the
like it
Triforce.
was ladder blocked. Definitely ladder blocked the rest of 8.
This is interesting. Could mean the other 2 items ladder blocked in 8.
That's really unfortunate for Fred.
Well, Fred's going back into 3. If he gets that ladder, might push him back to 8. Fury trying to get through the door. Oh! They did not let him through that door.
Bit too many enemies in that one. Cantaloupe still digging 6. Gotta go through, and actually, my mistake, it looks like that bait block is not actually an option for getting through this dungeon. I did not realize where Cantaloupe was on the...
RC is picking up the bow.
RC is 248 rupees.
Fred just went to the candle to burn it. Or not candle, sorry. He just went to the scrap metal and burned it.
Finally, somebody who knows the Bloomerang's place.
Unfortunately, he still has not picked up the ladder.
Oh, that is going to... It's hard to say. But in all seriousness, as much as I
Oh no,
meme about boomerangs...
Chat probably points out Fred did get the ladder. Never mind.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that somebody as experienced as Fred would leave an item missing in 3 for this long. Fred's gonna take a dip into 7. Will we find the staircase item? And will it be important?
Well, Fury gets to the bottom layer of 8. There's probably 2 staircases down here.
There's one of them.
We've got the raft.
Oh. Well, definitely required to come here, but we won't have the required item in 7 and in 9 combo anymore.
Well, chat's saying they think they saw the power bracelet in 6.
Could very well have been. And we've another Goma blocking what is probably the last item in 8. If this is the silver arrows.
Well, we're about to find out. There it is. Last item in 8. Is it the silvers? It is!
Required candle by, required wooden arrow by. This seat's been rough.
Yeah, that is a nasty combo. But Fury has everything they need. They just need the other 4 Triforce pieces. They can head to 9.
That officially means go mode! And that was a very fast Triforce pickup in 8. Once you know where it is.
So buying those arrows for Fury is going to give him a massive advantage.
paying off dividends, so to speak. Only the green tunic and wooden sword, however, so combat could be sketchy. Fury's very experienced, but
Well,
9 says otherwise sometimes.
well, you got to remember, Fury has not cleaned out 6 yet, so does have the opportunity to try for the magic sword. We know 12 gets it, but it could be less. But it
Could be.
I was gonna say, if he picked up the heart there, it would guarantee it if he went for it, but potion makes more sense.
RC Drone actually biting for the bait block, and just finding some money in return. Fred, close to that Triforce, I believe. But the question is, will he dig for the second item? If he does, that could, we know that's not the play this time, so that could seriously lose him some time. Nope, Fred just takes the Triforce, and it looks like he's gonna leave.
Yeah. So, at this point for the runners, basically, we're looking at where they are at. Cantaloupe needs to go buy a candle and arrows. RC did buy arrows, so that's good. Fred also needs to go buy arrows.
It's hard to say who's, I mean, Fury definitely has a bit of a commanding lead, but I'm really tempted to say that that magic sword that Cantaloupe has can really pull him back, as long as he buys those items as soon as possible, although...
Oh, Fred's also
Cantaloupe
grabbing the
is in
magic
level.
sword.
Oh. Still don't know if it's any less than 12 hearts, but that magic sword's gonna seriously help Fred now.
The disadvantage that RC has at this point is that they've already got the Triforce out of 8. There is still 2 items in there. Just a question of how soon he'll go back.
It's hard to say with how many dungeons he has yet to full clear, at least full clearing 6, and with missing an item in 7, he might delay going back to 8 as a game.
But at the same time, he can't get into 4. He's not happy.
He's trying to set his count to force a bomb drop. He's only at 1 bomb.
That's a good point.
He knows those dark nuts, those blue dark nuts were plus HP, or not? No, they weren't. That was the red Gurias, my mistake. He's forced to use that bomb to try and escape, but no dice. He's trapped in this shoot room.
Fred's back in 8 with arrows and the ladder.
He's immediately going for this Goma, convinced it's going to be holding an item, but only holding 5 rupees. Fury's going to be heading to 7, making quick work of 4.
Fred's right. He just doesn't know he's right yet. He probably thinks he was wrong right there. But
Cantaloupe's actually gone into 8, and Cantaloupe does have the wooden arrows, so Cantaloupe is a lot more in this than we thought. And Cantaloupe actually... Oh yeah, no, never mind. I was like, Cantaloupe picked up the magic sword, but we already saw that.
Yeah, we did. So even though Fury seems to be a bit ahead right now, that magic sword is definitely looking more and more like it's going to come into play.
And it didn't look like the Triforce in 6 was too free, so it could cost him a bit of time.
Now, if he does dig a bit of 6, could find the white sword, but the white sword was down a staircase. I think it's a little less likely you'll check down a staircase at this point.
Yeah, and if he immediately goes to try the magic sword, then it's just wasting time. Fred picking up that raft. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's fine. Fred got the raft. We'll see if he's going to finish digging out 8 and is going to be rewarded.
I mean, I can't imagine. You've done almost all of the 8. You are pretty much certain that the last item's got to be in this last room. I can't imagine that you would skip it.
Goma's not cooperating.
Just dancing around Fred's arrows. I mean, it's got enough legs to dance.
Fred's gonna pick up the silver arrows and be the second runner in go mode.
Cantaloupe, pretty close behind, picking up that raft. He's gonna be picking up his silvers very soon. I'd say Cantaloupe and Fred are honestly neck and neck. Cantaloupe has 6, but Fred's got 7.
So the interesting thing for this seed still, oh, actually Fury picked up that extra heart container. So if Fury goes for Magic Sword now, they're guaranteed to get it.
Right now, this race is it is exceptionally close between all of our runners. And of course 9 is the great equalizer, so as much of a lead as Fury having only missing the Triforce and 6, level 9 can throw anything at our
Absolutely. You get down the wrong path, 9 will easily take you from first to last.
It looks like we missed it, but Fred picked up a bomb upgrade, which is why he's got the lowest amount of money out of our runners. So that could really pull the weight later on.
So Fury is heading towards 6. We'll see if Fury checks the Magic Sword. They're going to check the Magic Sword and are going to be rewarded.
I mean, when you have a 60% chance and you don't have the white sword, and it's only about a 20-15 second detour, I'd say it's pretty worth it.
Well, on RC's side, did pick up the white sword. So, might not be able to get the Magic Sword in the seed, but at least the white sword will help. RC's bigger problem right now is got to go back into 8. Which he might after this. Get the Triforce out of 6. You can't go into 4, so you're going to have to dive back into a dungeon. And 8 still got 2 items.
It's definitely the logical play. Although we are getting to the point where if it was a Blitz seed, people would be finished. We've got no .duns yet, so it's unlikely, but it is possible that somebody might try and meta an important item and Cantaloupe closing in on that Triforce in level 4. Should be only a few screens away. We saw the compass from Fury, but that was in the section that Cantaloupe hasn't been to yet. Oh, Fred was trying to do a fancy footwork, but getting bopped by that Zora really enforced.
Fury
And we see that, sorry.
Say Fury found the white sword, but a little too late for that.
It's the thought that counts. Sort of.
Fred's going into 6. This is going to be this is going to be interesting. Fury's explored more of 6.
And we see the magic book in level 4. We haven't seen a wand yet, but I don't think anyone's going to be interested in that book.
Absolutely not. Fury's got his last Triforce piece. It's on to level 9. We'll see if we can get audio switched over here shortly. I'm not sure if Fury's audio is usable. We'll see.
Well, 9 being the great equalizer and all, I'd say that Fury's only probably got about a 3-minute advantage.
But Fury's on his way to 9. So as we get to 9, we're going to be looking for 2 things. Want to go through those?
Certainly. So first, we're going to be looking for, or in this case, listening for, the roar of Ganon. So Ganon's noisy, and Ganon likes to be heard from the surrounding adjacent rooms. So if you're north, south, east, or west of the room where Ganon is in, as long as there's not a boss in the room you're in making a louder noise, you'll be able to hear Ganon. The second thing we're going to be looking for is a shutter door that does not open when all the enemies are killed. That would be where Zelda is located. Alternatively, if Ganon is killed, we're looking for a shutter door that opens when all the enemies are still alive.
That's a dig dogger.
Looks like RC Drone's found that raft in level 8. Gonna be getting those silvers shortly, and then RC Drone only has level 4 left. Honestly, it's hard for me to say who's got a lead over RC Drone, Cantaloupe, and Fred.
I would still give a slight advantage to Fred right now, with Cantaloupe after that and RC at the end. But yeah, it's still pretty close.
Meanwhile, in 9, heard a roar, but it looks like it was just these Dodongos.
I've seen a lot of staircases so far, Fury not taking any of them. Meanwhile, Fred's got his Triforce out of 6. He'll be on his way to 9.
Well, one thing we haven't seen is a lot of bomb walls, or difficult enemies. Looks like 9 could be a case of find the magic staircase or a bomb hole.
Oh, we got a shutter door.
Shutter door. Could be where Zelda is.
Nope. So far, Fury has not found Ganon or Zelda. Fred is approaching 9.
Got another shutter door, another chance for Zelda. That magic sword making ridiculously quick work of those piles of pancakes.
There's a
but we got a compass! The compass tells you where Zelda is if you're in level 9.
And looks like middle north.
Or as I like to say, the middle of nowhere.
So as Fury finds that compass, Fred gets 9. Fury still holds an advantage. Cantaloupe's got their last Triforce piece.
And RC Drone's picked up his last Triforce piece, so Cantaloupe and RC Drone are neck and neck. Maybe 10 seconds between the two.
Well, this is literally going to come down to a 9 search. Fury's got the advantage in 9 with the knowledge of where Zelda is. But that's it so far.
And Fred's pretty close to Zelda if Fred can find... Actually, it looks like...
Oh, Fury's down to 1 heart.
Oof. I think Zelda's just right next door to where Fred is right now. Actually, a bit lower, but very close.
Fury uses his first drink of the potion.
Still no roar of Ganon left. Looks like Ganon's hiding in the top left.
There's the roar.
There's the beast. And it's in a moat room. But with that magic sword, just 4 hits and he'll be done. There's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. Very quick work of Ganon.
And Fury knows where Zelda is. The question is, what's the path?
Can he go directly to the right? That's one screen he can. That's 2 screens.
There it is.
And there's the shutter door. Fury, finishing with an official SRL race time of 50 minutes and 52 seconds, and is actually our first place finisher for this qualifier. GG.
Now at this point, it's pretty much I'd say it's pretty much even now between RC Drone, FCOM, or Fred, and Cantaloupe.
Fred is right beside Zelda.
He's probably about to find Zelda right now.
Yep, Fred knows where Zelda is. Actually found her room, but she wasn't in it a few moments ago.
Yeah, looks like Fred, if he keeps going to the left, he'll probably get to Ganon.
And we are joined by Fury SK for an interview. How are you doing, Fury?
That was kind of an interesting route gone good, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, it was a bit of a trolley seed with both the candle and the arrows being required and the location of the candle shop.
Yeah, that's why I like doing the 45, 50 second kind of roundabout look to see where the candle is. Determine where the candle is. If it's at the rare shop, then you kind of route it in after going to 1, so... Glad I looked.
Yeah, you were actually our first of the runners to find the candle and to buy the arrows, which gave you significant advantage. Gonna interrupt you there, because meanwhile, Fred's just defeated Zelda, and is gonna go rescuing Ganon very soon. So, talk us through your route through this. Anything that seemed notable?
I could not get a bomb. I wanted to go 2 first, pretty much the whole way, but I hate going to 2 without a bomb pack, and spent a lot of time on the overworld trying to farm that up, trying to figure out some way to manufacture it. Got the recorder kind of on the way, and eventually got the bomb pack I wanted, and from there, just kind of worked through 2. I knew that 1 had a key block, so the moment I found the any key, I was going back there. Was really happy to see the any key in 3, or the key door in 3. If you didn't go in from the right way, you were kind of blocked right off the bat, so that would have forced people to go back around.
Yeah, we had a lot of double dips in 3 and in 8, and in 1.
So quick update, Fred officially finished in 2nd place with a time of 53:09.
GG to Fred. We'll try and get him in for an interview shortly.
Looking at the restream, Cantaloupe and RC both have Ganon down, but they don't know where Zelda is yet. Actually, Cantaloupe might.
It is neck and neck between Cantaloupe and RC Drone, although there's Zelda for Cantaloupe's side. Cantaloupe finishing in 3rd place with an official SRL time of 54 minutes and 24 seconds.
And right after that, RC finds Zelda.
RC finishing with an official SRL race time of 54 minutes, 39 seconds. Sorry about that.
So our 4 featured runners today are your top 4 runners in this race.
That is crazy. Also, looks like, unfortunately, we will not be getting an interview from Fred. Fred chose to decline. But we'll see if we can get an interview from Cantaloupe or RC Drone. Meanwhile, anything more you want to mention, Fury? While you're still...
Well, I mean, Fred got kid percented there, I believe, so that's why he can't join in. But yeah, it's kind of... It was a pretty heavy-hitting race. And a lot of the big heavy hitters were on restreams, save for Unos.
And speaking of Unos just finished in 5th place with a 55.47. That's our top 5 runners for this race. Absolutely phenomenal work by all of our restreamed runners.
Yep. And you still got heavy hitters left. I mean, if you kind of look through the top 10 or so of the SRL rankings, you still got Third Wolf out there in this race. I'm sure he's not too far behind either.
Well, we are being joined by Cantaloupe, so hi there, how are you doing?
Oh, doing well. How are you all?
We're doing pretty good. So that was a fun seed. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, it flowed really well. I was worried about something being in 7, but once I found that candle, I was like, hey, let's go to 8, and 8 was loaded, so that got us what we needed, and it was a really fast 9. But no, I can't really complain. I had a few miscues, but that happens. But I'm overall well pleased.
Yeah, you were actually our first of the runners to get the magic sword, so that you were a bit behind at that point, but that magic sword, having it for so much longer, really helped catch you up.
Yeah, where I knew Wizrobes were going to be in the dungeons, I knew that right away, just from the enemy layout, and I'm thinking, hey, we're getting a lot of hearts. Let's just take the extra time and get this, and that's why I went in up 8 and got the heart at the coast, and figured 60% chance if I get it, I get it. If I don't, oh well. And I don't know if it was going to be 12 or 11 or 10 hearts, but it was one of the 3 because it was right there.
Yeah, we actually never actually found out. Everyone who picked up the magic sword had 12 hearts exactly.
Oh, wow. Yep, and one thing I found was funny, you get the magic sword, then you go into 6, and the first item you come across is a white sword, so it's like, well, at least you got that as a backup just in case.
Yeah, although it seemed like most people just found the magic sword, or the white sword, after picking up the magic sword. But
Yeah.
We are being joined by RC Drone. Welcome. How are you?
Hey, I'm pretty good.
So I think it's interesting what's bringing up the swords. I think, considering the difference between Cantaloupe and RC was actually about 15 seconds, that magic sword might have been the difference.
Oh, definitely. Although you did have the white sword, RC Drone, so weren't chucking Gan around with a wood sword. It definitely didn't. Any thoughts you'd like to share?
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty tough combat seed. I was bailing out of a lot of dungeons, so it was pretty rough. I was happy to see the silvers behind Goma, but because that could have been a lot worse, I think.
Yeah, we saw you bail out of 8 really early, despite having the ladder. Just picked up the Triforce and ran, but it ended up working out because you'd have had to double dip anyway because you didn't have the wooden arrow.
Yeah, I just saw Patras everywhere, and I saw the original Goma near entrance. I'm just like, this might not be the good use of my...
Yeah, I had that gut feeling too about getting arrows, and once I saw the second Goma, 3 Gomas, I was like, yeah, let's go get the arrows just in case, and yeah, you needed arrows for silvers.
Now, something I do want to ask you, RC Drone, is you got the floor item in 7. You found the Triforce, but you never found the staircase item, I believe. So, were you ever tempted to redig for the second item in?
No, because when I had Item and Triforce, like, I still had a good 2/3 of the dungeon left, and I was just thinking I'd rather go back to 5 first. I think I had the recorder in hand at that point, so it would have been really easy to come back if I needed to. It just the room to item ratio just was not very good for.
Yeah, well, that's understandable, and it was the play this time. No important items in 7.
It felt really good go moding 4, 6, and 7 at the end there.
Yeah,
Not very often.
It it really helped some of you who were able to go mode 6 and 7 to just get the Triforce, not have to dig most of it, especially with 6, with it leading off with those piles of blue dark nuts. Really bad combat.
Yeah, the blue dark nuts alone aren't so bad, but when you got BMO shooting in your sides as you're trying to set up the blue dark nuts to hit them, it's pretty lame.
Yeah, and with that bait block, which we did see, I believe it was Fred check behind the bait block. Just a little bit of money, nothing important.
Yeah, when I saw that bait block, I'm thinking, you know what? There could be something there, but thankfully it's near the beginning of 6, and you got so much of 6 to go through, so it worked out.
So going into 9 was actually remarkably close between all 4 of you. Fury did have the advantage a little bit heading into 9, about 2 minutes or so, but what really helped Fury was Fury found the compass in 9.
Mm.
But both Cantaloupe and RC Drone, both of you picked up your last Triforces at pretty much the exact same time. It was neck and neck for the entire 9 day.
Nice.
So actually, I'd say level 9 took all 4 of you about the same time. The gap between how long your finishes was about the gap between you entering 9. And with that, I think we've run out of questions to ask. Any final comments? And we'll start wrapping this up.
I don't have anything. Do you have anything, RC?
Nah, I'm good. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for restreaming.
And thank you to my co-com, JP. And of course, our tracker, Dark Falls. And to Speed Gaming for hosting us. I've been Kevin856, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a good day, everyone.